They laughed when she picked up the mop. They froze when she spoke Mandarin like a weapon. How many heroes have we walked past without knowing? How many women saved lives without ever getting a badge? This isn't just a story. It's a reminder that silence can be power. And sometimes, the janitor knows more than the general. Subscribe and turn on notifications, because honoring those who served in silence is how we serve too. Let's make sure no one like her is ever forgotten again. Her badge said, Custodial Staff. And for 15 years, she swept the floors of one of the most secure military installations on American soil. Unseen, unnoticed, unimportant. To them, she was just Ruth. Mid-50s. Quiet. Wore a faded uniform a size too big. But under the bleach stains, there were seams stitched with secrets. At 0400, the base was still. Fluorescent lights buzzed faintly. Security monitors blinked in empty corridors. And Ruth moved like part of the architecture. No name badge, no chatter, just silence and motion. Then came the alert. The Chinese delegation had landed early. No protocol, no interpreter, just tension. Inside the war room, a general's voice thundered, "We need a Mandarin speaker now!" Everyone paused, except her. "I can do it," she said. They turned, mop in hand, calm eyes. "You clean floors," the general scoffed. "I do," Ruth replied, "and I speak Mandarin. Native level, diplomatic cadence. Pick one." They gave her a translator badge. They didn't know she'd worn one before. In Chengdu, she dismantled a coup with 4 words. In Jalalabad, she extracted 2 hostages under a false identity. In Pyongyang, her silence sent a general into early retirement. She entered the chamber like she'd never left it. The lead delegate blinked. "A janitor?" She tilted her head. "Your assumption, not mine." 40 minutes of flawless translation followed. But it wasn't just her Mandarin. It was the way she read tone, paused at threats, reframed barbs before they landed. Then came the whisper. Too soft for tech, but not too soft for Ruth. She repeated it in Mandarin, word for word. The room froze. Red Fox. That name wasn't supposed to exist anymore, not in reports, not in memory. But she was standing right there, mop still dripping. Behind the glass, the general turned pale. He whispered, "Who is she?" No answer. Only whispers. Only a young lieutenant searching a file cabinet that shouldn't exist, and finding it, a red folder, no photo, no name, only one line, presumed dead. If seen, do not engage. Burned asset. The meeting ended in silence. She placed a sealed envelope on the general's desk. Inside, GPS coordinates in Kandahar, a NATO protocol symbol, and 5 handwritten words. Still operational, still watching. RF. Below it, barely legible, a second note had been etched in faded ink. Code Echo 9. Inactive. Asset protocol. Do not pursue. The general sat there long after she left, the envelope open beside his coffee. He didn't speak. He didn't move. But in his mind, something stirred. Red Fox, the name whispered years ago in Langley's halls. A story buried under classified sand. A woman who once passed intel in Berlin through symphonic timing. A melody no one understood until weeks later. A ghost who rerouted power grids in a jungle safe house without touching a single wire. He just stared at the corner of the desk, where the ink had smudged slightly, like a ghost had touched it, or like bleach had erased what once mattered. The next morning, her locker was empty. No mop, no badge. Only a patch tucked beneath the lining. The Langley emblem, barely visible. Next to it, something fainter. A triangle burned gently into the fabric. The kind you couldn't see unless you looked from the right angle, under the right light. In the days that followed, the base changed. Officers checked corners more carefully. Technicians reviewed footage that had nothing recorded. No one dared mention her name. Not because they forgot, but because remembering it meant asking too many questions. And Ruth, she wasn't a janitor. She was something else, something no report could contain. She was the firewall, a barrier designed not to strike, but to absorb the blast so others wouldn't feel it. She didn't need a uniform or a gun, just a moment and a voice. And when the next foreign motorcade blinked twice on the tarmac, they didn't ask who was coming. They asked if she was watching. If this story moved you, subscribe and turn on notifications, because some women don't ask to be remembered. But it's our duty to remember them anyway, because the most powerful protector is the one you didn't see coming.